Imagine having $100 million sitting in your bank account, walking into a showroom ready to write a check for whatever price tag is demanded, and being told that your money is completely useless. You aren't being turned down because you can't afford the price tag, or because someone beat you to the front of the line. You're being turned down because the manufacturer decided you don't belong to the ultra-exclusive club allowed to possess it. Across the automotive world, there exists a hidden tier of hypercars and historic icons that money alone simply cannot buy. We're talking about one-off commissions crafted in absolute secrecy, lost vintage legends worth more than private islands, and modern engineering marvels that required a personal invitation signed by the brand's CEO just to apply. Today, we are stepping behind the velvet rope to explore 10 of the most expensive and impossible to own cars on Earth. Number 10. Bugatti 110. To understand why the Bugatti 110 is practically impossible to own, you first have to understand how Bugatti handles its most exclusive creations. When this $9 million hypercar was announced as a homage to the legendary EB110 from the 1990s, automotive enthusiasts around the world were stunned by its sculpted angular design and massive 8-liter quad-turbo W16 engine. But if you were a multi-millionaire who saw the reveal and immediately picked up the phone to place an order, you were already far too late. Bugatti capped production of the 110 at exactly 10 units worldwide. But here's where things get interesting. Bugatti didn't put up an order form or host a public sale. Instead, before the car was ever shown to the public, Bugatti secretly reached out to a hand-picked shortlist of their most loyal collectors. These were individuals who already owned multiple Bugattis, including Chiron's, Veyron's, and rare historical models. If you weren't on that secret list, you didn't even get the chance to make an offer. Global superstar Cristiano Ronaldo was one of the fortunate few who secured one, but for everyone else, no amount of liquid cash could force Bugatti to build an 11th car. Even on the secondary market, acquiring a 110 is almost impossible. Owners are hand-selected brand guardians who rarely sell, and when one does privately change hands, the transaction happens behind closed doors at a price tag well beyond its original launch figure. Number 9. Koenigsegg CCXR Trevita. When Koenigsegg decided to build the CCXR Trevita, they set out to create something that shouldn't mathematically exist. The Swedish hypercar manufacturer developed a completely unique proprietary method to coat black carbon fibers with a sparkling diamond finish. When the sun hits the bodywork of the Trevita, it shines as if millions of tiny white diamonds are embedded directly into the weave. Originally, Koenigsegg intended to build 3 units of this white diamond masterpiece. However, the manufacturing process for this custom carbon fiber turned out to be so impossible difficult and time-consuming that Christian von Koenigsegg made a rare decision. The process was so excruciatingly complex that Koenigsegg reduced production from 3 units down to just 2. That's right, only 2 Koenigsegg CCXR Trevitas exist on the entire planet. One was famously purchased by boxing legend Floyd Mayweather for nearly $5 million before eventually moving into another private vault. What makes the Trevita so unobtainable isn't just its original $5 million price tag, it's the fact that Koenigsegg physically refused to make another one due to the nightmare of its creation. You can have all the wealth in the world, but you cannot force a manufacturer to repeat an engineering process so punishing they swore never to attempt it again. Number 8. Lamborghini Veneno. In 2013, Lamborghini wanted to celebrate its 50th anniversary with something completely unhinged. The result was the Lamborghini Veneno, a car that looked less like a road vehicle and more like a low-flying alien fighter jet. With an outrageous original price tag of $4.5 million, it was instantly one of the most expensive production cars ever announced. But here is the catch that left billionaire car collectors stunned. Lamborghini decided to build only 3 production coupes for the entire global market, and before the sheet was even pulled off the car at the Geneva Motor Show, all 3 had already been quietly assigned to elite clients. Lamborghini didn't take open bids or host an auction. They personally selected 3 specific longtime collectors, 2 in the United States and 1 in the Middle East, and offered them the car directly. If you weren't one of those 3 specific individuals handpicked by Lamborghini management, you were locked out entirely. Today, those 3 coupes are valued at upwards of $10 million each, but they almost never appear for public sale. They are locked away in climate-controlled private museum collections, serving as permanent monuments to Lamborghini's golden anniversary that money simply cannot pry loose. Number 7. Pagani Zonda HP Barchetta. Horacio Pagani is known as the modern master of automotive art, and the Zonda HP Barchetta is perhaps his most personal creation ever put on wheels. Revealed at the Pebble Beach Concours d'Elegance, this radical speedster featured a cropped windshield, carbon fiber rear wheel covers, and a roaring, naturally aspirated V12 engine paired with a 6-speed manual transmission. The price tag? A mind-boggling $17.5 million. At the time of its release, that made it one of the single most expensive new cars in human history. But the price wasn't the biggest barrier to ownership. The real obstacle was the production run. Pagani declared that only 3 units of the HP Barchetta would ever be built. And here's where things get even more exclusive. Horacio Pagani kept the very first unit for himself as a personal 60th birthday gift and a farewell salute to the legendary Zonda line. That meant only 2 units were ever allowed to leave the factory for private customers. When a car has a global customer pool of exactly 2 people, acquiring one isn't a matter of visiting a dealership or outbidding a rival at an auction. It requires entering a micro tier of private relationships where cars are only passed down like sacred family heirlooms. Number 6. Bugatti La Voiture Noire. When Bugatti unveiled La Voiture Noire at the Geneva Motor Show, it captured the imagination of the entire automotive world. Built as a modern one-of-one tribute to John Bugatti's lost Type 57 SC Atlantic from the 1930s, La Voiture Noire was a masterpiece of custom coach building. It featured a handcrafted carbon fiber body, 6 distinct exhaust pipes, and a continuous LED light strip sweeping across the rear fascia. The final price tag after taxes reached approximately $18.7 million, making it the most expensive brand new Bugatti ever sold. But that astronomical figure is completely irrelevant if you want to buy it today. Why? Because La Voiture Noire is an absolute one-of-one. There is only single example in existence. And what makes this car even more enigmatic is its absolute secrecy. Bugatti built this machine for a single anonymous client whose identity has been kept under strict non-disclosure agreements. While rumors circulated for years linking the car to former Volkswagen executives or world-class athletes, the true owner remains shrouded in mystery. You cannot buy La Voiture Noire simply because there is only one. Its owner has zero reason to sell, and Bugatti will never build another. It exists as a modern phantom, seen briefly on rare occasions before disappearing back into a private world. We are only halfway through our list, and the numbers and rarity are about to get genuinely surreal. The car sitting at our number 1 spot makes everything you've seen so far look surprisingly accessible, both in terms of price tag and how completely impossible it is to acquire. If you love stepping behind the curtain into the world of hypercars and automotive history, take a quick second to hit that like button and drop a comment below letting us know which car on this list you would choose if money were no object. And if you're into machines that exist far beyond the reach of ordinary luxury, hit that subscribe button and join us at MotorMetrics. We uncover the rarest vehicles, engineering marvels, and secret collections at the very peak of the automotive world. Now let's move into the top 5. Number 5. Rolls-Royce Sweptail. Before the modern wave of hyper-exclusive coach-built creations, Rolls-Royce shocked the luxury world with a massive one-off project commissioned by a private client. The vehicle was known as the Rolls-Royce Sweptail, and when it debuted, it carried an estimated price tag of nearly $13 million. The Sweptail wasn't created by taking a standard Phantom and adding custom paint or diamond-stitched leather. The client, a wealthy connoisseur of super yachts and custom aircraft, approached Rolls-Royce with a vision to recreate the sweeping proportions of 1920s classic coach building. Rolls-Royce dedicated 4 entire years to designing and handcrafting this single car. It featured a dramatic sweeping roofline, a custom panoramic glass ceiling, and a hidden center console that deploys a chilled bottle of vintage champagne and 2 crystal flutes at the touch of a button. The reason you will never own the Sweptail goes far beyond its multi-million-dollar price tag. Rolls-Royce didn't build this car to test the market. They built it as a co-creation with one specific individual. The intellectual property, the design language, and the soul of the vehicle belong to a single private client's personal dream. You cannot simply walk into Goodwood and order another Sweptail because Rolls-Royce respects the absolute uniqueness of their coach-built commissions. Number 4. Bugatti Type 57 SC Atlantic. Now we move into the realm of historic legends, whose value transcends traditional money. The Bugatti Type 57 SC Atlantic, created in the late 1930s by John Bugatti, is widely considered by historians to be the ultimate holy grail of the automotive world. Only 4 original examples were ever constructed, and today, only 3 are known to survive. The Atlantic was an engineering marvel of its era, constructed out of a lightweight magnesium aluminum alloy called Electron. Because Electron was highly flammable and could not be welded, John Bugatti had to rivet the body panels together externally, creating the iconic raised seam running down the center of the car. Today, if one of the surviving Atlantics were to ever hit an open market, experts estimate its value between $40 million and over $100 million. Fashion icon Ralph Lauren owns one, and another resides in the famous Mullen collection. But what makes the Atlantic truly legendary is the mystery of the missing 4th car. Known as La Voiture Noire, the original black Atlantic Atlantic driven by Jean Bugatti himself. It vanished in France during World War II while being transported to avoid capture. To this day, its location remains unknown. If that lost Fourth Atlantic were ever discovered in an old barn, it would instantly become the most valuable barn find in human history. Number 3. Rolls-Royce Droptail Series. As we enter our top 3, we move away from standard production lines entirely and enter the absolute peak of modern coach building. The Rolls-Royce Droptail series, including models like the La Rose Noire and the Amethyst Droptail, represents a level of tailored luxury that borders on fine art. Each model in this planned 4-car series carries an estimated price tag exceeding $30 million. Consider the level of labor involved in the La Rose Noire Droptail. The interior features a breathtaking wooden veneer artwork representing falling rose petals, crafted from 1,603 individual pieces of hand-finished black sycamore wood. That single interior trim process took the artisan over 2 years of painstaking hand labor to complete. To top it off, the dashboard houses a removable, one-off Audemars Piguet luxury timepiece custom designed to be unclipped and worn on the owner's wrist. The Droptail isn't just expensive, it is completely unobtainable to the public. Each car was co-designed over several years between Rolls-Royce's top designers and an elite, anonymous client family. The design choices reflect the family's personal heritage, private art collections, and individual tastes. Rolls-Royce limits these coach-built commissions to a tiny circle of long-standing brand patrons. Money alone cannot buy your way into this process. You need decades of relationship building with the factory and a vision worthy of their master craftspeople. Number 2. Ferrari 250 GTO. If there is a holy grail among sports racing cars, it is the Ferrari 250 GTO. Built between 1962 and 1964 to compete in the FIA World Sports Car Championship, only 36 of these iconic machines were ever produced by Maranello. In recent years, public auctions and private sales have seen 250 GTOs sell for figures between $48 million and over $70 million. Back in the 1960s, you couldn't just walk into a Ferrari dealership with a stack of cash and drive away in a 250 GTO. Enzo Ferrari himself personally vetted and approved every single buyer who wished to purchase one. He wanted to ensure that only the most capable drivers and prestigious racing teams operated his flagship racer. Fast forward to the present day, and the ownership dynamic is even more restricted. The 36 living owners of the 250 GTO form what is essentially the most exclusive fraternity in the world. They know each other personally, gather for private rallies in Europe, and keep meticulous track of each chassis. When a 250 GTO does change hands, it rarely happens at a public auction. It usually occurs through private, unpublicized agreements between collectors who have known each other for decades. You don't simply buy a Ferrari 250 GTO, you are invited by the existing network of caretakers to become the next steward of automotive history. Number 1. Mercedes-Benz 300 SLR Uhlenhaut Coupe. Here it is, the absolute apex of automotive rarity, value, and exclusivity. For decades, car enthusiasts believed that no car could ever breach the $100 million mark. Then, in May 2022, Mercedes-Benz did something nobody thought was possible. The car in question is the 1955 Mercedes-Benz 300 SLR Uhlenhaut Coupe. Only 2 of these stunning gull-wing prototypes were ever created by Mercedes-Benz, named after their brilliant chief engineer, Rudolf Uhlenhaut. Based on the dominant W196 Grand Prix race car, this machine was capable of reaching speeds approaching 180 miles per hour in 1955, a figure that was practically sci-fi for its era. For nearly 70 years, both prototypes were kept locked away in the official Mercedes-Benz vault in Stuttgart, widely considered by historians to be invaluable museum treasures that money could never touch. Then came the secret auction. Mercedes-Benz invited a tiny group of ultra-vetted international collectors to a private, highly confidential event held inside the Mercedes-Benz Museum. When the final gavel fell, one of the 2 Uhlenhaut coupes sold for a staggering $142 million, making it officially the most expensive car ever sold in human history. So why will you never own it? First, the remaining second prototype will remain in the hands of Mercedes-Benz forever and will never be sold. Second, the single private individual who paid $142 million for the second car had to agree to strict binding conditions set by Mercedes. The buyer agreed that the car must remain accessible for public display and special historic events. You cannot simply buy the Uhlenhaut Coupe, lock it away in a secret garage, and keep it to yourself. Even with $142 million, you are merely a custodian sharing space with history. It stands alone as an ultimate testament to engineering, heritage, and wealth beyond imagination. At this level of the automotive world, these machines aren't just transport or status status symbols. They are moving sculptures, historical artifacts, and tickets into private clubs that money alone cannot unlock. Which of these incredible cars would you choose if money were completely irrelevant? Let us know your choice in the comments below. Hit that like button if you enjoyed this journey into high-end automotive rarity, and don't forget to subscribe to MotorMetrics for more deep dives into the world's most extraordinary machines.